Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you not one, not two, not even three, but 4 ways that you can book a party without booking a party. Coming up. In direct sales, we all know how important it is to have parties. It's a great way to reward your loyal customers and connect with them better. It's a great way to build your business and to share your product with brand new people. But sometimes your business will feel like it hits a lull. Maybe it's a weird time of year like the middle of December and people really aren't wanting to do parties, or the middle of summer and people are on vacation. Maybe you've done a lot of parties recently and you just feel like there's not a lot of people that are wanting to do parties with you right now. Or maybe you just want to change things up. Maybe you've done a lot of parties and you want to try something new. Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you some tips and maybe some new ideas to do parties without doing parties, because I never want you to feel like you're held back by the time of year or other people's actions. I don't want you to feel like your business is being held up because people don't want to book parties. So the first tip I have for you is to do a hostess of the mostest party. This is where you have several hostesses in one party. And as you can imagine, this saves you a lot of time. Plus, this is a less intimidating way to do a party for people that are potential hostesses. Maybe they've never done a party with you and they're just a little bit nervous about having a party. Some people feel a lot of pressure to have a party with someone, and they will feel bad if they don't get sales for that person, so they just end up saying no about having a party because they don't want to disappoint you. So a couple tips for this kind of party. I would recommend doing a prize for whoever brings in the most guests. Because you are in one group, you don't want a hostess just coming in and not really bringing in guests. I mean, the whole idea is for her to be able to get sales so she can get some rewards too. So I would make sure that you incentivize inviting guests, whether you want to do it where once they invite a certain number of guests, then they get a prize, or if you want to do a competition, like whoever brings in the most guests gets a prize. However you want to do that, I would just think about a way to encourage people to invite their friends to this party. Another tip is to have all your orders go to one party. So if your company allows this, open up one party with your company and then have all of the orders from that hostess of the mostest party go to one party. This will probably increase your chances of getting larger hostess rewards, because a lot of times there will be parties, and I'm sure that you've seen this happen, where you've only gotten a few sales and you haven't really hit those higher tiers of hostess rewards. So if you have all the orders going into one party, you're going to be more likely to hit those hostess tiers. So what I would do is have one party, all the orders go to one party, and then you keep track of which hostess's guests have placed orders, and then keep track of those orders yourself and reward your hostesses accordingly. The second way for having parties is to offer your party as a prize. Now, maybe you're doing a special promotion, maybe you're doing a 12 days of Christmas, or maybe some other fun promotion and you're giving away prizes. This can be one of your prizes. I wouldn't phrase it as a party. I would phrase it as a consulting session or a makeover session. I know that people have done this for me and it's been super fun. Now, obviously with a consulting session or a makeover session, this is going to be a lot smaller group than a normal party that you probably do. It's going to be a much more intimate group. Maybe your friend will invite a couple of friends to be a part of this consulting session with you, but that's okay. That's a great way to really be able to share what your product is, how it works, ways they can use it. So have a lot of fun with it. The third way to have a party is to do a party on Messenger. Now, I adore Messenger because Facebook has a mind of its own, and a lot of times people do not even know that they are in your party. Have you ever had that happen to you, where you reach out to a guest and she's like, oh, I didn't even know I was in that party? I've had this happen multiple times. So this is why I love Messenger, because people will see what you post. Now, there's a flip side to this. Because everyone is seeing everything, you want to be careful, because people will get annoyed when they get too many notification dings and they might leave the group. So there's a couple tips to help this not to happen. One of them is to make sure that everyone in the group was personally invited by you. Don't just add people into a group. They will get annoyed and they will leave. Make sure that you ask them first. Make sure they want to be a part of this group. And again, phrase this group as a consulting session or a makeover session. Change up your post a little bit so it really comes across as a consulting session and people are going to enjoy it. You know, people are getting a little bit tired of the party thing. So by switching it up, you're really going to stand out and people are going to be more interested in learning about your product. So make sure that they want to be in that group. And then I keep my groups about 20 to 30 max. You don't want to have too many people in a group. I would much rather you have 5 groups going with 15 people than, 2 or 3 really big groups, because again, people are going to see every comment. And if there's a lot of people in a group and there's a lot of comments going on, people might get annoyed and leave, or they might not scroll through to see what you even said. If you share something maybe in the morning and that person's at work, and then a lot of people comment, the person when they get off work is probably not going to scroll back through to see what you originally said. So you just want to make sure to keep these groups a little bit smaller. And then you also want to make note of it probably right at the beginning of this group. When you're welcoming people to the group, let them know that they can turn their notifications off. So I'll show you how to do this. If you don't know where this is, click on the group that you want to mute and go up to the top button on the right, click that, and then go down to notifications, and you can change that however you'd like. Obviously for you as the admin of this messenger group, you definitely want to leave your notifications on, but I would share with your guests how they can turn it off, because if they're like me, they might be in this group and really want to be in this group, but they don't want to hear all the notifications. So by being able to turn off your notifications, you can stay in the group, you can enjoy what's being shared, but a lot of times people still won't turn off their notifications. So just be aware of this. Be careful with how many people are in your group. Have a set schedule of when you post. You don't have to be super rigid, but maybe if you want to do like a fun game at a certain time, make sure it's at a certain time. Try not to have posts too early or too late in the day. Just be aware of this for your guests. And the last tip that I have for this idea is to really see this as a consulting session. Ask your guests how you can help them. Tailor your posts to what you think they would really enjoy seeing and what they would really benefit from. You can do some really fun and creative games and challenges in this kind of a group. You want to have some prizes, some giveaways, and some games. Just make sure that you're having fun, even though it is a consultant type of a session. Your guests are going to really remember and really going to engage more if you have some great prizes and fun things happening. You want to give them a great experience. The last idea I have for you is to host your own party. Now, maybe when you started with your company, you had a launch party. That is kind of the idea of what you want to do with your own party. But I would make it very light and fun and just a great place for your friends to kind of see what you do. Instead of phrasing it as a party, I would share with your friends that this is a way for you to explain to them what you do. A lot of times people will know that you're in direct sales. They kind of know what company you're in, maybe, but they don't really know what you do or how it works or what kind of products you sell. So this is a really great way to introduce them in a way that's fun and they get rewarded, and you can do some games and prizes and just have a great time. And one thing that I really love about this idea is because, again, sometimes there will be times of year or times in your business where you feel like you cannot book a party for the life of you. And by having your own party, you are making sure that you keep your business momentum going. One thing that I tell my team is that the success of our businesses does not rely on other people. Because here's the thing, I have heard, and I'm sure you have heard, people that will say, I tried direct sales and I just couldn't get people to book parties. I just couldn't get people to join. I just couldn't get people to buy from me. And they let that hold them back from growing their business. But here's the thing. We live in a day and age where we are not held back by our little circle of friends. Back in the day when it was all brick and mortar and before the internet, yeah, that might have been a little more the case. Where you were located, where your store was set up, you were a little bit reliant on the people in your community. But today, in today's world, you literally have the world at your fingertips. Just think about it. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet. There are 333 million people just in the United States. Think about it just for a second how many people you might need to have a very lucrative direct sales business. And then think about how there's 333 million people just in our one country. Your company is likely in more than one country. You have more than enough people that you could ever need that will be interested in your product. Now, you might need to learn how to share your product. You might need to learn how to reach out to new people. You might need to find new friends and new customers. That's all part of business, but the control is in your hands. It's up to you if you want to learn those things, if you want to reach out to new people, if you want to figure out how to reach out to people, if you want to figure out how to meet new people. It's all in your control. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I just want to say that having parties, not having parties, having people that want to book with you, not having people that want to book with you is not going to hold you back. You just might need to get creative with some of these ideas. And one of those ways is to just host your own parties. So I'm sure if you look on your Facebook profile, you have lots and lots of friends that you have never invited to try your product. I bet you if you would go through your profile, you will be surprised at how many people that you have not shared your business or your product with. So a couple tips about this kind of party. One way is to make sure that your guests do not feel pressure to buy from you. A lot of times your friends are nervous about knowing what you do or learning about what you do because they don't want to feel pressured to purchase from you. And there's a weird thing with friends, like you want to support them, but you also don't want to feel like you have to support them. That makes sense? So just make sure, like, put your friends all at ease. Don't have to purchase from me. I just want to share with you guys what I do. It's super fun and I love it, and you might love it too and you might not, and that's okay. It doesn't affect our friendship whatsoever. I just wanted to have fun and share with you what I do since it's such an important part of my life. Just make sure your friends are aware that this is for you to share with them. They do not have to purchase from you. And my other tip for doing this kind of party is to give away your hostess rewards. So if you're getting orders coming in, you're getting hostess rewards on your party, give those rewards back. You are already making money on those orders, and that's a great way for you to have prizes to give to people. You can maybe do some bigger prizes and more games than you typically would do in a party because it is your own party and you're the one getting the hostess rewards. So that's kind of a fun thing to be able to flip those around and say, you know, I'm going to give you guys back my hostess rewards, whatever we earn from this party, I'm going to give to you guys. It's just a fun way to make your friends feel special, and also it's a great way for you to have some great prizes to give that didn't cost you anything. So those are my 4 ideas for booking parties. If you have implemented any of these ideas, or if you have some other great creative ideas for booking parties, be sure to let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear what you have to share, and I will see you guys in the next video.